fine. I think it was good. It's good TV. They kept cutting away for commercials every few minutes. I think that's good for that's good for ESPN and good for the league at large, I'm sure.
And they are sending to Oklahoma City essentially a record collection of draft picks, 4 first-round picks, 4 unprotected future first-round picks, a protected future first-round pick, 2 pick swaps, and outstanding rookie point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they understood that with Paul George gone and the outlook for the team in a different place, it was time to start the rebuild. And Russell Westbrook just really didn't fit that type of timeline.
Welcome to the latest episode of The Layup Line. My name is Dolos, and if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe for NBA videos like this one. You can also follow me on a few social media pages for inside looks at upcoming videos, as well as reactions to live games or transactions. Quick intro though, I'm diving straight into things, so let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like you saw in the intro of this video, Oklahoma City is going through a rebuilding process at the moment. They tore down their old playoff roster and have followed Sam Hinkie's model, cashing in on veteran players for draft assets or young talent. The theory goes that the best way to win in the NBA is with stars, and drafting your own star is easier than trading for one or signing one as a free agent. This has been especially true for small markets, so a team giving themselves a bunch of opportunities to draft a star has now been dubbed the process. There was a ton of controversy when Philadelphia embarked on their process, and that actually hasn't died down. The conversation on tanking for draft picks got to the point that the NBA needed to step in, and they pressed the Sixers ownership to get rid of Sam Hinkie. The league has since smoothed out the draft lottery odds, which is why the team with the worst record hasn't actually won the first overall pick in the 3 years since this draft reform started. All of this controversy is why I want to document the Thunder's rebuild. This will actually be part of a series with videos dropping occasionally as Oklahoma City's rebuild reaches key turning points. Expect the next one around or after the draft. Basically, I want to track key players and characters in the Thunder's future as they try to identify what their next phase looks like while having a broader discussion on the effectiveness of tanking in the NBA. This episode 1 is really going to be more of an episode 0 because I need to recap and get you caught up to date. Quick breeze through of the 2019-20 Thunder team. Famously, Chris Paul's 1-year stint in Oklahoma City. Paul was the Thunder's return in the Westbrook trade along with 2 draft picks. This was supposed to be Oklahoma City's first year of the rebuild. Rumors were flying all season on when or if the team would decide to tank and move their veterans like Chris Paul, Steven Adams, Dennis Schroeder, and Danilo Gallinari. Oklahoma City would end up as a 44-win team, 5th in the West, and they threatened to eliminate the Houston Rockets in a Game 7 where Luguentz Dort cemented himself as an Oklahoma City legend with a 30-point Game 7 on 6 of 12 3-point shooting. Chris Paul's year in Oklahoma rebuilt his value, and the Thunder were able to cash in and swap him to Phoenix in exchange for Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, and a first-round pick. Head coach Billy Donovan and the team parting ways was another marker of the beginning chapter of this rebuild. Oklahoma even changed their coach out for a younger model with more potential upside. It would be one of Billy Donovan's assistants and the former Oklahoma City G League coach Mark Daigneault that would take over as the team's head coach. His success developing the team on the G League front was a key element of this hire, considering the youth movement that was on its way. The teardown would continue that offseason with Schroeder being sent to LA. The recently acquired Rubio was traded in a draft night trade that would land the 17th overall pick, Alexei Pokusevski. Oubre was swapped for a pick, and Steven Adams would be sent to New Orleans for, you guessed it, more draft stuff. Danny Green, who they would acquire in the Schroeder trade, was rerouted to Philly for Al Horford. This would start Oklahoma City's first legit year as a tanking team. Oklahoma seemingly tried to somewhat be competitive to start the year, going 14-34 through February. However, they would win 8 more games the rest of the year. This was a clear pivot point in their season where they decided they had already won too many games. That's when they hit full Sam Hinkie mode. The team decided to sit veteran Al Horford despite him not really dealing with an injury. They decided they needed more draft assets, trading veterans like George Hill, Trevor Ariza, and Hamidou Diallo. Also, a hallmark sign of a tanking team is the roster size. 22 different players got minutes for Oklahoma City this year, which speaks to all the 10-day and G League deals that they were doing. Gilgeous-Alexander, the best player on the team, would also only play 35 games. He didn't see much action in the second half of the season after playing like an all-star. The seriousness of the plantar fasciitis that sidelined him for the season came into question by fans who thought that this was just another way to help the team tank. However, Gilgeous-Alexander not being available to play in the Olympics for Team Canada might be a sign that that injury is actually pretty serious, so something to keep an eye on moving forward. Also, after the season, they made a trade, cashing in on Horford's value and the declining contract number. They would then land Kemba Walker in a first-round pick. Also, this trade happened during the playoffs. I've never seen anything like this before, and I thought that after the regular season trade deadline, transactions would only be able to be made in the offseason. So if anyone has some answers as to how this deal went through, please let me know in the comments. But back to the actual deal, Oklahoma City moves Horford, who doesn't have a desirable contract number, but because Kemba's deal is so much bigger and harder to move, Boston was forced to add a mid-first round pick to make the deal work. We have also since had the draft lottery results. Oklahoma City had the chance to steal Houston's draft pick if it landed outside the top 5. However, the Rockets not only keep their pick, but Oklahoma's own pick ended up dropping. That still leaves them with the 6th, 16th, and 18th picks in the first round, as well as 3 second-round picks in this year's draft. My next episode of this series will profile who the current young talents on this team are, and just outlining players I think have a case to be considered in Oklahoma City's future plans. After that one, something probably post-draft will come out updating the profile on the rookies they actually selected. I'm very excited about this series, and if you are a Thunder fan, or even if you just know a Thunder fan, please share this video to help me grow it. I am super excited for what's to come, so subscribe if you want to get notified when videos are out. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.